At this point in time, you can find a leaflet of information about the software that we're going to use on the computer here in the lab. It should say the Tensile Test at the top, and we are going to turn to the PowerPoint slides, page 1. Actually, flip over to page 2. Let's see. 2. Keep going to page 6 of this series. And so we need to open up the trapezium software. And if you look on the computer, it is this one right here. So we're going to double click to open it. And you might get this screen. It's an error. The instructor is going to try to eliminate this step, but if it's not, what you can do is just click OK, and then click OK, and then it should open up, or yes, click yes. Okay, so this is what the trapezium software looks like. And if we follow the steps, it says click create new method, and then there's a circle around the box that we need to click. So it looks like it's right here. So we're going to click create new method. Then going back to our how-to PowerPoint slides, says in this system select single in test mode. So it should be here and then single. So let's look. The first tab should be system. So we are in system, and the test mode should be set to single, and then the test type should be tensile. So it looks like those pieces of information are already filled in and are accurate for the test that we want to do. If we flip the page, it says step 3 in sensor, so we may be moving to a tab to the right. Select stroke and set limit to 50 millimeters. So sensor. So we select the sensor tab. And then on the select stroke, and then the limit should be set to 50 millimeters. So we need to take out a 0. So we are now set at 50 millimeters. Sensor stroke 50 millimeters, right? The next step is sensor extension and set channel as digital 1. So sensor extension, so I think we're going a tab down. So we go to extension tab right here. And then channel 1, extension set channel. So there is channel field. They want me to set it to digital 1. So I'm going to use the drop down arrow, set to digital 1. Right. Now we can flip our page and go to step 4 in testing. So it's circling the tab to the right. Set V1, which is our loading speed, a value from 1 to 15 millimeters per minute. So for this experiment, we actually need to set it to 5. So V1 is going to be set to 5. So testing tab, which is here. Testing tab, V1 needs to be set to 5. So let's change that to 5. So we've now changed the V1 value to 5. in chart, so it's a tab over to the right. Click auto scaling, reanalyzing. So chart is here. And then auto scale, reanalyzing, we're gonna check that. Set maximum and y-axis as 1. So y-axis, the maximum should be set to 1. Set maximum and x-axis as 1. So we've got x-axis, we want to set the maximum to 1. Click test with this method and do not save the method file. So over here on the left hand side, test with this method. And then it asks, are you sure you want to save the method file? And it says we do not, so we're going to say no. So it's pulling up my chart. Looks like a graph, and then I also have another tab that says file logs. So I can click on either of those tabs to see the information or the data being run. In step 6, it says right click on force. So I believe this one is force. We're going to right click on it and choose calibration. Wait 1 minute until the calibration is done. So this is force. We right click on it and we're going to run the calibration. So it looks like it is still doing stuff. So let it run. While that's running, we can read the next step. Right click on stroke and choose to 0. Okay, so I heard a little bing noise and it looks like it is zeroed out. So then we right click on strobe and to 0. We may also need to do that here. So it will remain 0, but calibration should do that for us. Now we right click on extension 1 and choose to 0. So same thing for the very last piece here. Go to 0, so everything should be 0. This one just likes to move back and forth, but it's close enough. And then click Start Test. A warning dialog box will pop up and click Start Test. So I do believe that we need to shut the window here, the shutter. So that's probably what the warning sign is going to do. But we can go ahead and see if it does stop us. So say Start Test. And it does. It says, before testing, please check positions of limit southwest and emergency southwest. So we need to pull our little slider down. Make sure all of the windows are closed. And then we should be able to say Start Test. Alright, so we can see that it is running. The data is starting to be collected. So we're just going to let it run, collect data until the beam breaks in half. And once it breaks, then we will come back up and finish the experiment.